I strongly feel that education and only education has got the power to salvage people and to take people out of this crisis that we are facing. In fact, right from the very beginning, right from the time when a boy or a girl is just admitted in a school, they need to be sensitized, they need to be made aware of what is nature and how we are connected to it intrinsically. In fact, we keep on blaming the politicians, we keep on blaming the system for the degradation of nature and environment. But we must not forget that it is we who bring politicians to power. And if really we have the awareness, if really we can act in a way so that the future generations remain sensitized, remain aware, then no matter how crooked a person is, whether it is a politician or a policy maker or a decision maker, whoever it is, he or she is simply not in a position to do whatever he or she feels like. So we are talking about Amazon burning, we are talking about the melting of polar ice cap, we are talking about the rising carbon dioxide level, we are talking about the destruction of forests, everything. Just tell me, if we remain aware, a huge section of population in any country remains aware regarding what is the possible consequence of all these, and compels the government, compels the policy making bodies to take action, to take measures, then definitely the environment will be in a much better shape than it is today. So education is, it has the power and it is the sole agent to bring in the kind of change that the whole mankind needs today. This value orientation once again has got a deep connectivity to nature, because you will find in every religion, in every culture, in every kind of country, in every social setup, the value based education that has got something deeply rooted into our nature orientation. Very frankly speaking, as someone belonging to a little older school of education, I also do not have much details about what exactly it means and instills in terms of the education policy. But well, the thing is, experiential learning was there, may not be in the same format, may not be in the same kind of name, but experiential learning was always there as an integral part of traditional Indian method of learning. As in the case of our old system of education, which was there for thousands of years, this experiential learning was there, and the objective of learning is to gather experiences and apply these experiences to solve real life problems, to be creative, to think in novel ways, and to try so that the immediate and future problems that we encounter in our day to day life, in our society, that can be avoided, that can be effectively taken care of. So experiential learning was there, but well, as we are resurrecting many of our ancient traditional systems in terms of our education policies, in new names, in new contexts, this is one such to my belief. It is good to see that traditional value systems are being resurrected, maybe with some new names, new jargons, that is quite fine, that is quite acceptable. The essence is whatever was good, whatever was essential, whatever was beneficial for mankind, that we are resurrecting. We have been able to put values to that we forgot, and now these things are coming up once again. The thing is, as you understand, the education scenario is changing fast, and I think it is inevitable. This education scenario was supposed to change first with the development of new kind of needs. When I say I belong to a little old school of thought, I essentially what I mean is the objective of the old and new schools, the objectives are not different, the objectives remain the same. It is the development of students, it is the development of learners in a way that they not only become successful in terms of practical life, they become successful in terms of social and spiritual life. The ways differ, the ways differ. In fact, by this what I mean is, in the old school there were certain rigid ways. In sort of new school, the ways have become much more flexible. And one more thing is, today's education depends a lot on technology, on gadgets, on scientific advancements. In our time, or the kind of time I am referring to, education was not that dependent on gadgets, on the technological advancements. But well, I do not really blame any particular system, I do not really criticize. I think it is a welcome change, but as members belonging to the old school, it will probably be little difficult to become tech savvy that way in today's world for people like me. Rather, we will try to inculcate the same kind of old value system that we believed in, and we will try to integrate this into this modern technology dependent education system. Education has always dealt with this problem. The problem is not with the education itself, the problem is with in terms of factors, forces that always try to counter the effects of education in a subtle or maybe in a very crude way. So, intolerance has never been tolerated in any education system. Whether we are talking about the Oriental system or the Western system, intolerance has never been tolerated. The problem with India is, India not only has many different types of cultures, religions, even habits and practices. India is essentially differing in many regions in terms of how education is being offered and in what way policy makers are trying to have a subtle but very, very definite control over education system. I will not blame any particular region, any particular sector or political party for this, but once a process starts and once one gets to see that by means of capturing or controlling the education system, someone is taking undue advantage, someone is getting undue advantage, the same thing is practiced by a rival party, a rival sector, a rival group, and that way this becomes a vicious cycle and this intolerance goes on and it rises. That is exactly what is happening with India in my view. I had been to Adamas University for the first time in connection with this educational summit. And very frankly speaking, I am mesmerized. It has been a wonderful experience with wonderful people, wonderful arrangement. I am not talking just about this kind of logistic part. I am talking about the choice of speakers. I am talking about the way Adamas University is motivating people. In fact, in a lot of lectures or maybe through some personal interactions with people from Adamas University, what I find is this university is trying its level best in taking up motivating students as the most important agenda of this university. So, talking about the campus, talking about the kind of atmosphere this university is offering, I think this university is surely going to take a huge place in the academic sector of this country, and it is going to be one of the leaders in coming days. In fact, it is already taking the shape of a true leader in the academic arena, and I am pretty sure with the kind of support staff, support system and the kind of people involved in this university, this is going to be a great success story.